guys, welcome back to Fitness and Nutrition with me, Coach Adamir. I'm really looking forward to today's episode because it's very near and dear to my heart. If you don't already know me, I'm a strength and conditioning coach. I train athletes in the general population out in the Los Angeles area. One of the main things I like to focus on though is strength training. It's really just one of my favorite ways to train because I think you get the most benefit out of it, not just in terms of strength and weight loss, but also in terms of just how it makes you feel overall. When paired properly with stretching and cardiovascular training and a good strength training program, you just feel great. You feel more flexible, you feel more mobile, your body functions a little better, and you just feel better throughout the day. You feel better about yourself and that you can accomplish things, everywhere in your life. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. I want to clarify what exactly strength training is, the different types of it, how it's going to be beneficial to you in your life, and how you can incorporate it as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in, and then, yeah, cool, thanks. Training, so resistance being like bands, any external load, body weight, even push-ups, pull-ups, squats, lunges, things like that. It's a resistance, it's a body weight resistance, gravity basically. Bands work, dumbbells, free weights, anything like that is strength training, resistance training, weight training, all the same thing. Okay, the basic goal of that type of training, there's three different goals: muscle strength, muscle size, or muscle endurance. All right, so there's many benefits beyond just muscular strength and aesthetics. So it's really not just about looking strong and being all big and buff, because I know for the most part, most of us don't want to look like that, right? I get that all the time. Like, hey, I don't want to lift weights. I don't want to get all big and bulky. I don't want to look like that. I get it. You're not going to look like that unless you specifically train that way. Also, you got to specifically eat that way, right? In order to build and grow those muscles, you need to feed them. So that, is a topic for another time, but it's something that I hope we can clarify today, because I don't want people to be afraid of strength training, because it's not going to get you big and bulky. It's just going to make you strong. It's going to make you flexible. You're going to have more endurance, whether you're hiking, whether you're walking, swimming, whatever it is. That's also a byproduct of strength training. All right, so like I said, there's three different types of goals when it comes to strength training. There's muscle strength, and that's the ability to produce maximum force against an external resistance. So basically as much force as you can against a heavy resistance. So this is looking at 1 to 5 reps of 80% of your 1 rep max. So your heaviest weight, you're going to want to cut that back to about 80%, and then do 1 to 5 reps for 3 to 4 sets. All right, don't overdo it, don't overload. Do a progressive load. If you can add 5 or 10 pounds each round, do that. Okay, the next one is muscle hypertrophy, which is basically muscle size. That's the one that people are almost, I guess, afraid of, but you really, like I said, you really have to dedicate a lot of work into your workouts and to your nutrition to grow the muscles to the place where most people are afraid of. So hypertrophy is the growth of muscle tissue and the ultra-structural adaptation. So as you strength train, your muscle fibers break down, and they regrow as you rest and recover. Those are the adaptations that happen. That's what causes muscle growth. That's why we feed them protein, right? That's the way they tell you to eat protein after a workout. That's basically 6 to 12 reps of 60% of your 1 rep max. So if you bench press 100 pounds, you're going to go to 60 reps. You're going to go 12 reps, 4 to 5 rounds. Okay, so that you just continue to build and build and build, and then you progressively continue to add weight each time. So if you do 60 one week, you do 70 the next time, you do 80, 100, etc. All right. And then the last one we work on is muscle endurance, and that's basically the ability to resist muscular fatigue while using a submaximal resistance. So you're going higher reps, lower weight. So we're looking at volume here. So that's when you get into your 15, 20, 25 rep range at 40% of your max. So if you're benching 100 pounds, then you're going to want to go to 40% and do 20 reps. almost like a burnout, right? You elevate your heart rate, that's what builds endurance. And then you increase your muscle endurance as well so that you can go longer next time, maybe even just slightly heavier. Okay? All right, a couple training tips here. You don't need heavy weights to get the results you're looking for, right? Strength training is really good for basically anyone. Our older clients, beginners, if you're returning from injury, if you've never done it before, get into it. If you haven't done it in a long time, get back into it. You can do it with limited equipment. Like I said, it's external resistance. So if you just have bands, that's fine. If you just have light dumbbells, remember we talk about endurance. You go volume at that point. You just go 20 to 25 reps, maybe 5 sets, right? And you pair a lot of exercises with it to get the most out of it. There's also low risk of injury when it comes to this type of strength training because you're not overloading yourself too much. All right. Now, if you're looking at maximum strength for your goal, like if that's what you're really looking for, then yes, you need to go heavy. So if you have limited equipment at home, it may be difficult to achieve that goal. So you either need to revisit your goal or find a way to train for that specific goal. All right. It's all based on your goals. So you're going to see improvement in your strength, your lean mass, your size, your endurance, whatever it is, you're going to see improvement based on the goal that you're looking for. All right. All you have to do is train specifically for that. The other thing that I want to tell you is that effort is going to matter when it comes to your workout, right? The harder you work, the better the results you're going to have. All right. If you have limited equipment, but you work your ass off, you're going to see more change and improvement than someone with all the equipment and all the fancy shit in the world, but with a half-assed effort, right? You see it all the time. You go to the gym, someone sits on a machine, text on their phone, whatever, for like 5-10 minutes. You're like, what's going on here? It's a half-assed effort. That's not going to get the results you're looking for. So if you have 20-pound dumbbells and that's all you have, I'm sure if you took the time and put the effort into it, you can get a kick-ass workout. I promise, right? You just need to push yourself to the point of near fatigue, right? That's the general rule of thumb I tell my clients, right? That if you're doing, let's say you're doing 20 reps, okay? You get to 16, 17, 18, you're struggling to get to 20, those last 2, 3, 4 reps, that's perfect, right? We like to say it should be difficult but doable, okay? You should be able to finish it with good form, but it's okay to struggle to get there, all right? 12 reps will get tiring with the right effort, with the right form, with the right weight, with the right intensity, all right? You don't need to overdo it every single time. You just need to be focused and you need to put in the effort. I promise you'll get the results. Happens all the time. I see it all the time. All right. The other side of that though, constant high effort, if you're always going hard like every single day, first of all, that's going to get real tiring. You're going to get really exhausted. And that can also increase the risk of injury. Okay. So you got to listen to your body's needs, listen to how your body responds so that you don't get hurt and that you don't get just tired of doing it, right? Because sometimes we get bored, we get into a routine, and it's like, I'm just tired of doing this, and then we just kind of go through the motions and don't really get the best out of it, all right? So maybe instead of doing 25 to 30 reps of lightweight, something that's getting kind of boring, let's go back down to 12 to 15 and then add another set of something else, right? This way you get the benefits of the endurance training without the risk of gradual injury over time. And then one thing I want to remind you guys, I'm sure we know this, male and female clients are going to respond differently to strength training, right? We have a chemical structure that's different. We have a biological structure that's different. We're going to respond to strength training in a different way. Now listen, I've done it. I've looked at it. Research suggests, and I believe it, women have higher muscular endurance than men, which means that females can probably do more reps at a certain percentage of their max. So they can probably do a higher percentage of their 1 rep max for more reps than someone, a male like me could, right? Like if I do 100 pounds max and then I'm repping 80 pounds by 80%, I can probably do 10 to 15 reps while my female counterpart can probably do 20 to 25 at the same weight, at the same, percentage of their max. All right. So what this means though, because females are a little bit stronger in that sense, you have to push yourself a little harder and you have to dig a little deeper to get to that muscle fatigue. So because you're stronger, you have to work a little harder. All right, that's just the natural byproduct of your biology, your physiology. All right. And again, one thing I want to tell, especially my female listeners, you're not gonna get big by lifting weights. All right. The only way to do that is to have a calorie surplus. Right. So if you're consuming 2,500 calories a day, you're probably gonna be okay if you're lifting weights. Now, if you double that and go to like 4,500 calories a day, you add the hypertrophy reps where you're going 70% of your max and you're doing, mid volume 6 to 8 reps. You're adding all that protein, you're adding the carbohydrates, you're supplementing, you're doing heavy split sets every other day, you're repeating it weeks and weeks and weeks and months at a time. Then yeah, you're gonna get big. All right, but traditional strength training done correctly is not gonna increase your muscle size. It's only gonna increase your strength and your endurance, which is all we're really looking for. Okay? All right, you guys. Last point here, the benefits of strength training in your life, just overall. First, you burn more calories. There's something called EPOC, EPOC. That's excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. That's a mouthful, so we just say EPOC, EPOC. That's basically the calories that your body burns after the workout. So if done correctly, if you get a good intense strength training workout for up to 24 to 36 hours after the workout, you're going to burn an additional 150 to 200 calories. All right, that's just from your body repairing itself from trying to recover. All right, so that's an addition to what you burn through that workout. So if you burn 600, an additional 800. And then if you train the next day, 600, 200, it adds up. Okay, that's why strength training is so beneficial. That's why you see the most results out of it if paired correctly with a cardio program as well. All right. The other thing it's going to do, it's going to boost your energy and mood. Right? Strength training raises your endorphins, which naturally increases your energy, and it's going to elevate your mood. Like, who doesn't feel good after, pushing around some weight and feeling strong as hell? I like it. I'm sure I know a lot of people that like it. So it definitely elevates your mood. You feel better. Why not? Boost your energy, boost your mood naturally with a nice 1 hour strength training workout. The other thing it's going to do, it's going to reduce your anxiety. All right. The effects of strength training are probably the most consistent and have the largest decrease in anxiety. They do research on these. There are studies that show that having a habitual or like a scheduled strength training regimen weekly is going to lower your stress and anxiety, naturally boost your energy and mood, and just make you feel overall much better. All right, so I highly recommend it. And then it's also going to improve your sleep, right? While your body needs to recover, it's tired, it's exhausted, it needs to rest and repair. All right, so you're going to have deeper REM sleep, right? So you have less awakening, deeper sleep patterns, more restful sleep, so that when you wake up, you feel more energized. You don't feel groggy. You don't feel so tired throughout the day. You have that natural energy because your body has rested properly. All right. The other thing it's going to help is if you are diabetic, it's going to improve your diabetes. It's going to improve glycemic control and your muscle strength. Skeletal muscle plays an important role in glucose clearance, which is, removing sugar from the blood. So if you increase your skeletal muscle, you're going to naturally help your blood expel that glucose that's just kind of floating around in there sometimes. All right, it's just a natural byproduct of these things. We have to understand that so that we realize the importance and the benefits of it. All right, you're going to also protect your bone health. As we get older, our bone density decreases. We get weaker bones. It's more prone to be broken easier, more prone to injuries. So if we start with a strength training program sooner rather than later, you're going to improve your bone density and structure and strength. All right. As you get older, if this is already part of your life, you're going to significantly slow down that aging process, that bone degeneration process. And that's, who doesn't want to be strong at an older age and not break down and feel all, cripply? Sorry, probably not a good word, but that's probably how you feel. And it, strength training is not gonna allow your body to get to that point. All right. And then the last thing here, it lowers your colon cancer risk. There's a study in Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise. Findings show that a 22 to 25% lower risk in those who lift weights. So, like I said at the beginning, it's not just physical and aesthetic benefits. There's, physiological, biological, mental benefits that help when it comes to strength training. All right, you guys. So, many benefits to strength training, many different ways to incorporate it in your workouts. I definitely recommend 3 strength training days, 2 cardio days, maybe add cardio on those strength training days, just light cardio, maybe a light run, a hike, a swim, bike, Stairmaster, elliptical, whatever piece of cardio that you like to do, pair it with your strength training. And cardio isn't just running, anything that elevates your heart rate. So if you like to swim, go swim. If you like to play volleyball, go play volleyball. All right. If you just like to take walks, go take a walk. Maybe walk uphill, right, to elevate your heart rate a little bit, to make you work just a little bit more. Use that extra calorie expenditure to help you increase your calorie burn for the day. All right. So you guys, if I can just ask you a small favor, if you like what you heard today, please share it with anyone who you think can benefit from this. Share it on Instagram, Twitter, tag me at Coach Adamir. Also, subscribe to the podcast. I'll be releasing episodes weekly. So if you're subscribed, you'll get an alert when there's a new episode so that you don't miss it. You don't have to remember. I'll remind you. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys' support. Thanks for tuning in. I'm looking forward to this series. Next week, we're going to cover a little bit more of a motivational topic, kind of if you're having a tough time with anything, try to help you out through that. So happy Monday, you guys. Like I said, I really appreciate your support and encouragement. As always, have a great week. Love yourself and go be the best version of yourself. Bye.